Welcome back, doll babies, to Murder Therapy with Doll Talk and cousin Ashley.
Hi.
I know.
It's
I'm
been a minute.
sorry that we didn't have an episode last week, and I will take full ownership for that. But when I tell you all as a content creator who, I mean, that's like a whole source of income, for me. Like, that was the most stressful week of my
Oh my
entire
god, I
life.
couldn't imagine.
It was awful because I literally all week long we're waiting to get the ruling on TikTok, and are we shutting down? Are we not? And then, not really, no one knew what was going to happen, right? Like if we get banned, what happened? It was stressful. I don't even want to talk about it. Like my nerves were shot. My nerves were so shot, okay? I have to tell you all about my royal screw up. So I'm shopping for things for my store. And I order a slew of packages on Amazon, right? And I'm like, she knows what I was gonna
I
say.
didn't know where
And
she was
I'm
going for
like,
a
okay.
second.
I was stressful shopping. I'll own it. Like I was up late at night. I'm ordering things on the Amazon.
Projects
Cool.
for you guys,
I'm
though.
Yes, and it's stuff for my platform. Okay. And I go to check it and I'm like, son of a. I shipped it to Ohio. Yes,
She
I
did.
did.
She did.
I did. So I text Ash and I'm like, hey, I have, I think 5 packages, possibly more, coming to your house. She's like, would it be easier if I just return it? Because they have same day Amazon up there.
Oh,
Okay.
it's
And
fantastic.
I'm like, no. What I want you to do is hoard these in your house
They
and
all did
ship them
not
to
come the
me.
same day either.
They did.
And none of it, like, none of them came together. None of them.
No. And Brian, so my maiden name is still on my Amazon account. So then Ryan sees this and he's like, who the hell is this person?
He said, you tell her I do not recognize this name. How dare her have that name on there? I'm telling Nathan.
Go ahead. So
Him and
then
Nathan
she sends
cohort
this.
things behind our backs. We shouldn't let them
They
talk to each
do.
other.
They do. They do. They plot many things. But yeah, so I stressfully shopped and had numerous packages delivered on numerous days for a whole week at my cousin's house.
They took up
That's
so
how
much space.
stressed out I was. They weren't that big.
I told
But still, I felt terrible.
I told Lucy, and she's like, "How in the hell did she do that?" I was like, when she was here in August, I was like, she ordered a fan for Cora to go to Kings Island, and I was like, she's had to have shopped on Amazon since then. I don't know how this happened.
Have. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how. And Nathan, when I told Nathan, of course, my husband's like, way to go, doofus. He's like, you literally,
It
he's
could
like, it makes you verify the address. And I was like, it was a stressful week.
listen.
Like,
Even though like they show the address, I'm just stating just to make you feel better. Christmas time, we moved in March. And Christmas time came up. I did it once. Ryan did it 3 times. And
then I don't feel bad
yeah,
now, Ryan. Like,
he got a controller from Sam shipped to our old address. He got Jaden's, there was 3 Christmas presents and a DoorDash order. Just,
now the DoorDash order, I would have been very upset about.
oh, he was, because DoorDash refused to refund us because it was his mistake. And so Ryan had to go out to get it. And then Jaden so happens to know the boy that lives at our old place. And he was like, oh, yeah, I ate it. It was so good. And he makes jokes all the time. You gonna DoorDash some food to my house again? I'm hungry. I'm like, Lord, this is ridiculous.
Just know with Ryan's short fuse, I can hear him going out to the vehicle, cussing in the vehicle on the way to your old house.
Probably.
Like, I'm playing this out cussing, God forbid, whoever answers that door.
He didn't
Like,
even go to the door. He went to Hothead and just got new food for him and Jaden. I can't. I think I was at my Christmas party for work, and they were fending for
right.
themselves for dinner. But he definitely did it. I got my color street delivered there one time, and I was like, "Why do we not keep checking this?" And just so everybody knows, it could happen because Jody and I both have each other's addresses on our Amazon, so it could happen. It could happen. I have yours and I have his sister's, so it's fine. And both are
I know.
multiple hours away.
Yes.
So
So I'm grateful that I shipped it to my family, who, unfortunately, every day that week she had a packet.
I did. They were little though. Did you get it?
I did today,
Okay.
and I was like, I'm gonna talk about. Yeah, I did. I don't even think I told mom about that, so now mom will learn. But
One of
yeah.
them were really
So yeah.
long and thick. So I was like, but it was flat, and I was like, oh my god, do I have a box that'll fit this? And Ryan's like, but. And I was going through my recycling bin. He's like, stop. He was like, they probably have an envelope at the post office that'll fit that. Just barely. Like it was perfect.
Perfect.
And it fit every
Yes.
single one of them in there. It was awesome.
Yes. But all of my goods were delivered.
I'm excited to see what you do with them.
Yes.
I know what they are,
I know.
guys.
I
You
will.
don't.
Yes. 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 So it was all delivered. Thank goodness. But yeah, yeah. So other than that, I wanted to apologize and tell everybody I'm sorry. It
It
was
was
a
so
really
funny.
stressful week. My nerves were absolutely shot. It was terrible. I
She
was
didn't
not
think
having a good
TikTok was
time.
going anywhere, you guys.
Well, the girls said that it would be back.
Did they?
They did.
Oh,
They
get it,
did. I
girls.
also want to put it on the record. All right, so the big questions this past weekend was asking who's winning what football game because Super Bowl is coming up, which Nathan is a Chiefs fan. I know.
What?
Yes, he is, but we love
What?
him. And yes, I know. But we love him.
I don't know anymore. I don't know. I rebuke
So
him.
people was asking who would win, the Bills or the Chiefs, and I had to politely decline that because I knew if I did answer and if the Chiefs did not win, then I would get blamed.
Mm-hmm.
I was not going to
Ugh.
deal with that. However, I do want to put on the record right now that one of my friends, Steph, one of my moderators who lives in Myrtle Beach, she she said her boyfriend's a huge Eagles fan. And she was like, I need to know if the Eagles are going to win today. Can you ask the girls? Because if they're not, I'm leaving the house because I don't want to deal with.
Who was that?
And
Who
they,
asked?
it's my friend Steph. She's one of my
Well,
moderators.
Steph,
Yes.
I'm rooting for the Eagles on the Super Bowl. I cannot not I used to like the Chiefs and just I they've turned into the new Patriots. I just can't stand another Super
I
Bowl with them
know.
in it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the record that Doll Talk's prediction and the Paranormal's prediction for the Super Bowl win is the Eagles.
I hope they're
So,
right.
um, yes, I guess we'll get to figure out
Mm.
when is the Super Bowl? Is it
This weekend is the Pro Bowl and it's next weekend.
okay?
Oh,
So
yeah,
in a
we
couple
are
weeks.
a diehard football fan or football house. So like we don't just watch our team. We love football, but we have our teams. My son's Ravens. He used to be the Steelers. I don't know what happened to him. Ryan and I are Steelers. So of course Steelers, like the last God knows how many years, didn't make it past the first round of freaking playoffs. So my little Ohio heart went for the Lions because, believe it or not, I actually there was Taylor Decker on the Lions. He graduated 2 years after me, I believe, from Butler. So, and they're
You
kind of
went
the
to school with
underdogs.
him?
Mm-hmm. I don't
That's
personally know him.
cool.
Yeah, because he was younger, but and they're the underdogs. So, and most of us that I know were rooting for the Lions, and like even in our school messages when the kids got school canceled, they would say "Go Lions," and it was really cool. But Ohio State won. I got that. We
Aw,
won the
yeah. But
championship.
I did. We said that the Eagles was going to win their game, and
Fingers
they
crossed.
did. And my prediction is the Eagles will win the Super Bowl.
God, I hope.
Nathan's not going to be happy about that, but it's okay. It's
Nathan can
okay. So,
shut up.
yes. But you know who else I really like, though?
Not Tay Tay,
I like
but
Taylor,
it's
but
another
there's
singer.
it is another singer, yes. So we are going to cover the case of Selena. Yes,
I feel
Selena.
like I need to
Because
do my
I
little
don't think that she.
my little
I love
nobody.
that you
If
did the
you, I
dance.
know you can't see it on Spotify, but I just did a little.
Yeah,
I
she
don't know what
did
that
the
is.
little
A
Celine.
rumba.
I don't know, whatever it is, but I don't think that this is a case that's really talked about too much.
No.
And I think we should talk about it, and I'll elaborate here shortly why I wanted to kind of talk about it. But yeah, we're going to talk about Selena. Now, I just am going to throw it out there that a lot of people have probably watched the movie Selena with J-Lo in it. And yes, I see you looking around. I was literally talking to Ashley because Ashley's like, I love her, but I don't know about her murder. And I'm like, why am I not surprised about that? And then I said, did you not ever watch the movie Selena? And she goes, did you watch Dexter? And I said, no.
She's all about serial killers, and she's never watched such a hit show of a serial killer in the making, basically. I don't get it, but it's fine.
I know.
But I do. I
I know.
love
So
her
we're gonna.
music, but yeah, I always like to live in on rainbows and clouds, and I just block out bad
Well, this
things.
is a rainbow and clouds story, and unfortunately, the ending. Newsflash! I bet you never would have guessed the ending for this is kind of tragic. But I mean, we are going to talk about her and how her career evolved into what she is, and then we're going to touch base on the perpetrator a little bit. But
The
yeah, so
perp.
Selena, the perp, yeah. I'm not going to try to say her last name because it's really difficult. And I screw names up. And Selena is a good person, and I don't want to disrespect her and mess her name up. Okay, but she was born on April the 16th, 1971, at Freeport Community Hospital. She was the youngest child of Marcella um, and Abraham. She was Mexican American. I think she had a little bit of Cherokee um,
She's gorgeous, just
blood
like
in
the
her,
perfect
but oh
blend.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Listen, if you do the side by side pictures and you look at Selena and then you look at J Lo side by side when J Lo played her in that movie, you can't tell a difference. And let's remember that J Lo, wasn't she nominated as like the world's most beautiful woman one year?
I'm
Like
sure.
Selena was gorgeous. Oh, she was so pretty.
I've seen bits and
Yes.
pieces. I've never actually sat down and watched the full movie. That's what it is.
You should. Obviously there are, they do. I
What?
was looking at something.
What is happening? Her face, you guys,
I
if you're
don't
on Spotify.
know.
She just like looked weirdly over her computer.
It smells like something is getting hot in here. That's concerning. Hold, please. Hold
Okay.
on one moment. What is that? Hold on. Like, I'm concerned. We
Dear
might have
God.
to edit this part out.
I don't want to catch your house
Okay? What is
on
that smell?
fire in the video.
You spilled something on the damn tire air on the eye, and
Well, I was making sure it wasn't anything over here.
I had a
Okay.
damn fire going underneath my pot of water.
Oh my God. No wonder why something was hot. Jesus.
I'm not editing
Mary
that
and
out.
Joseph. Huh?
I said I'm not editing that out.
You're not edit. Okay, fine, whatever. I thought my house was about to burn down. I was
I was
very
like, we're not
concerned.
capturing her house burning down on video. I hope not. Like,
Okay, the stove. Okay, anywho. So apparently something went up. Yeah, okay, anywho. So Selena was beautiful. I know, just back to normal. Um, and she was raised as Jehovah Witness.
no
Well, and I
way.
wanted, she was
Okay.
raised as Jehovah Witness, and I wanted to bring that up because I'm not Jehovah Witness. I'm very curious about that lifestyle. So if you are and you want to chime in, I feel like they have really strict like a strict lifestyle in a
Oh,
sense, because
it's
I know they don't
ridiculous.
celebrate holidays. And um again, if you are, I'm not judging at all, but I'm making the assumption from what I'm interested in learning other
I always
religions and
am.
cultures, and they're all different,
Heidi's
which
best
makes
friend
that I think that's
Crystal,
what makes this
when we
beautiful.
the one that took us out boating, she's Jehovah Witness.
Hmm. Now, we used to work with a social worker at the hospital, and she's a lovely woman. She's a really kind person. She's Jehovah Witness, so when we would have potlucks and stuff, she would decline, like if it was for a birthday party or whatever, because they don't celebrate that. But they have that really strict lifestyle, and that's
Hmm.
why I wanted to pinpoint on that, because there's going to be parts where it sounds like her dad is like super uberly controlling, and he is, but I don't think he means it in a malicious way. I
Sure.
think that's, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's part of why I just wanted to pinpoint on that. I didn't want to just throw out there, oh, she's Jehovah Witness just for the hell of it. Like, I wanted to pinpoint that I think that they have a very strict lifestyle.
I
So,
don't want to talk
um,
because I don't know much about it, but I do know that the reason why they don't celebrate holiday, not even birthdays for their kids, for themselves,
uh-huh.
is because they truly believe nothing and no one should be celebrated but God.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, if that makes him
Yeah.
happy, I'm happy for him. But yeah, they but she was raised in that religion. Now her dad, Abraham, he noticed her musical abilities as young as 6 years old. And he said at that time, he knew then, like her timing, her pitch, everything at 6 years old was perfect. And he was like, boom, we're gonna make something of this. Now, Abraham, I think at one point in his younger years had this ambition to be a musician himself.
Mm.
So in a sense, it's kind of like living his dream through his kids. But I don't think, again, I like Abraham. I think some people would watch the movie Selena and read about Abraham and think he can be a bit of an asshole, and I get it, but I like him. I think he meant well. But yeah, he noticed her talent as young as 6 years old. So
Wow.
he decided to get Suzette, the sister, what's her brother's name? I done forgot the brother's name. Ain't that awful? Um, he had Suzette on the drums and little
Oh
Abraham.
God, this
The
was like a
brother's name was,
Partridge
yeah.
Family thing. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So little AB, we'll call him
Brady
AB.
Bunch
So they
type
get
deal.
AB, Selena, and Suzette as like a child, as a band. And obviously Selena was the lead singer.
Why is that a
AB
thing? Why did
played the
parents do
guitar.
that? Sorry to interrupt. I
Do
just don't.
what?
They like Hanson. Hanson, like you got one, you got to involve them all. Which I get. There was other Hanson brothers besides those three, but the Jonas brothers. Why is it always? I don't get it. Why is it
Well,
when one's
I mean,
involved, they're
this
like, oh, well, let's get them all in it.
I think they were very family oriented, but I think it was something you'll see.
Okay.
We're gonna paint the whole picture, but so he forms this band. Him and his wife ended up opening up a Mexican, like a Tex-Mexican, sorry, restaurant. They called it Papagayos. And it was open for 1 year, and what they would serve Mexican food, and people would come and eat, and they'd see the kids perform, and it did really well
Oh.
until there was a recession. In the night, it was caused in the 1980s by the oil glut, and that caused their restaurant to shut down.
Hmm.
They had to file bankruptcy. I mean, it was not a good time for them. This is when they ended up moving to Corpus Christi, Texas, and relocating. I think that they lived with family, to kind of rely to help each other. That's the way I understand it. I could be wrong about that. If you know, correct me. But um, they needed money, obviously. So
Yeah.
what they did, they would take the kids and they would perform at fairs. They would perform at street corners. They would perform at carnivals, and that's what started their income.
Wow.
And that's really how Selena got started. And that's hard to believe, that they started in the house, then they went to a Mexican restaurant, that ended up getting shut down because
Right.
recession. And then they're performing at carnivals, and now she, that's how she evolved to what she was.
That's insane.
It's correct.
Yeah.
It really is
But
if you think
you
about it.
have to start somewhere. You gotta be like exposure. That's what I tell
Right.
Ryan all the time. I said it may sound like a stupid show, but even if one person hears you, it's exposure. I mean, let's be real. Look at Jelly Roll now, and I followed Jelly Roll. Ryan's followed Jelly Roll longer than I have, and he was like completely underground rap for
I
so
know.
long. And I love all his old stuff. I know almost all of them. So before he got big, we went to a concert. I could sing all of his stuff. And then going to his concert after he got big into the country realm, he would still play some of his old stuff. And some of these people are looking around like, what is this? I know it.
Right.
But yeah, it's weird. It's cool to see that they come from lower specs and to see them come up like that. That's awesome.
And so when you asked earlier, why do parents do that? I think that that was probably a big part of it. Like this was kind of, at the time, I don't think that he anticipated that this would be what provided their income, right?
Yeah.
But I do think that he looked into it as like it will be a family business kind of
Time
thing,
time
which we learned later
together.
on.
Nobody
Yes.
gets left out. That makes
Yes.
sense.
Right. Yeah. Um, so as she's aging and her popularity was growing and people recognized the band, obviously it resulted in them traveling more. They're getting phone calls. They want Selena's presence. He ended up pulling her out of school. And she actually did really well in school.
That
She
sounds
went to
pretty
college
typical.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ended up getting removed out of school in her 8th grade year. Now, she did have a teacher, Marilyn Greer, who was very objective to this, and she felt that it was just god awful. How dare them pull her out of school for such a tacky like career? And I'm like, I wonder if she ever looks back and is like, yeah, I probably acted like an asshole and I should have
Damn
shut my
it.
mouth considering everything that, comes after the fact. Like, I fucked up. Yeah, Marilyn, you did. You need to watch your mouth.
Can I have your
She
autograph?
disapproved. Yeah, she even threatened to report Abraham to CPS for taking
Wow.
Selena out of school. Yep, she did. Um, she felt like she was being exposed to like inappropriate behaviors with the music industry and all that with her age.
Meanwhile,
Um,
all the
to
Nickelodeon, the
which
Disney stars growing up. Yeah.
I get it, but she's with her family.
That's what I'm
She's
saying.
not
I
being
think she's being
subjected.
over
Right,
dramatic. Every kid that's in the limelight goes through that. They get pulled from
right.
school. They can't do what they do and go to school.
But I mean, Selena, which we're about to talk about, she really made something of herself. She did something a lot different than what other child stars do.
Okay.
I feel like she did. Yeah, but of course, Abraham, as we learned, is very vocal, and he doesn't really give a rat's ass what to say to you. So he told her she needed to mind her damn business.
Did he
Um,
homeschool her? Because like a lot of those people, they do like they don't just quit school. They do schooling in other
right.
forms. Yeah.
So she did end up getting her high school diploma from the American School of Correspondence out of Chicago.
Okay.
So I'm sure she probably, of course, I don't want to say virtual because the internet really wasn't a thing then, but she probably was like doing her assignments and you know what I mean, mailing
Yeah.
them along the road because they were touring, like they were going all over the place. And this is even before. This was before she had recorded her albums. So I mean, she really was making something of
Wow.
herself. She was also accepted in Louisiana State University,
Eh.
and she enrolled at Pacific Western University, taking up business administration as a major subject, which really you'll learn she
Wow.
puts to use because
Yeah.
she had a lot more than just her singing and performing, career going for.
So she had
Now,
talent and brains.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she beauty and brains.
Wow.
Absolutely. Now, Abraham ended up purchasing an old refurbished bus, which he named, I love this, Big Bertha.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
And the
great.
family used it as a tour bus. That's where they would kind of go. In the first years of touring, the family sang for food. And they barely had enough money for gasoline, but they made
Jeez.
it work. Yeah, they were getting it. In 1984, Selena recorded her first record for Freddie Records.
Freddie Records. Okay.
Yes. Um, the band was called Selena Los Dinos. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but
Hmm.
yeah. Um, Now the music, I'm probably not saying this correct either. That the genre, I guess you would call it, was Tahino music. I'm probably not saying that correctly. Um, and the thing is, this was really more male prominent. Like you see a lot of male performers in that. I don't want to say she was the first woman to make a breakthrough, but seeing women be the primary, in this particular music and genre was not very common. But she made a breakthrough. Like she
Did
was like
it?
the queen of Tahino. Yes, I know. She came in big and she made an impact. Um, Now, Abraham believed that Selena should record musical compositions related to her heritage. He wanted her to sing not only in English, but in Spanish.
Okay.
Selena didn't really know Spanish. Yeah, they taught her so she could sing it, but she
Wow.
couldn't speak it very well. Yes. Yeah. That's incredible
Wow.
to me. Yeah. Um, she had to learn Spanish and guidance from her father. She didn't know how to speak Spanish, but she could sing it.
That's insane with how good she was at singing in Spanish. I thought she was fluent in Spanish. That is
No,
insane. Wow.
now I don't know how true this is, Kay, but there is a clip in the Selena movie, and it's showing Abraham talking to her, and she's supposed to do like a huge press conference in Mexico, and he's like, "It's hard being Mexican American because you're not American enough for the American people. You're not Mexican enough for the Mexican people." He's like, "It's a nightmare," and she's like, "I got it," and he's like, "You can't speak Spanish, and they're gonna tear you alive," and she's
Oh
like, "I've
no.
got it," and she tries and she stops and then she ends up speaking English and they loved her and they're just clapping and they're just happy. She was like the queen in the Latino world.
Music just
They
speaks to your soul.
worshiped the Yes,
Yeah.
they loved her. And here
Oh.
he's like, well, I guess I was wrong. Like they loved Selena. I mean, and they really showed that. Again, I don't know how true that is. I
Yeah.
feel like that's something as you learn about Abraham's character, that's totally something that Abraham would have said.
That's
But
crazy.
yeah, she could not speak Spanish, but she sang it fluently.
God, that's
I
mind
think
blowing.
it is mind blowing, and I think that takes talent.
Yeah.
I know fajita and burrito and tequila and margarita, and that's about all I know. But yeah, she couldn't speak Spanish, but she sang it beautifully. I have
Yeah.
some of her songs on my Doll Talk playlist. I have no clue what she's singing about, but you can't help it. You're just like,
Gorgeous and
yeah,
bops.
yeah, yes. Um, Now she appeared on the Johnny Canales show. And that was a popular Spanish language show, but she would appear regularly and they loved her. Like I mean she was
Oh.
rocking it. She was discovered by musician Rudy Trevino. And this is where she won Female Vocalist of the Year award in 1987. Like
Hey.
yeah, I know she's killing it, and she won for 9 consecutive years after.
Holy cat. 9?
9 consecutive
Wow.
years. Yes. Now, the band often turned down by Texas music venues because of the members' ages. This is when she was younger. Um, what was I going to say with that? I'm sorry. Forgive me. I fucked that up. Okay, but they were
Videos.
turned down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They were turned down by a lot of Texas music venues because the kids' ages. I wonder how many times they kicked themselves in the ass after the fact.
Oh,
Um,
I am
her father
sure they
Yes,
did.
her father was often told by promoters that Selena would never be successful because she was a woman in that particular genre. And now again,
Fuck
she
off.
won female vocalist for 10 years.
Ugh.
Yes, she won the first time, and then 9 years after, 10
Yeah.
years in a
Eat your
row that they didn't
words.
think. Yes, yes, that's what I was going to say. All right. They would refer to her as the Mexican Madonna
Oh,
because, yes, for her sexy outfits
I
and
see
dance
it.
moves, which Abraham was not crazy about. He did not like her bustier. And if you are
Mm,
not familiar with what the bustier is, it's like a bedazzled bra, which she made herself. She did that. They didn't go out and buy those. Everything that she wore, she designed.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
she designed.
She amazing.
Um, yes. Now, because of her broad appeal in Latin audiences, Coca-Cola chose her to be their spokesperson in 1989. I mean, she really had things going for
Yeah,
her.
Coca-Cola and back I mean still to this day it's huge, but like
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she was their spokesperson. Coca-Cola was all about Selena. Um Expanding her personal brand beyond her music career in 1994, Selena opened two boutiques. Remember, I told you that
Mhm.
business administration? Yep, she opened boutiques.
Get it,
She
girl.
called it Selena, etc. Where she sold her signature line. She was designing her own clothes.
That's
Um,
amazing. God, where did she have the
yeah.
time?
Well, I mean, she did hire people as fashion designers. They knew her taste, and you're going to learn she was really good to people. Like, she loved her employees and she knew that they helped make her successful. And she was all about giving. I mean, she would give gifts all the time of gratitude. And they, again, I don't know how true this is, but in the movie they kind of emphasize that. They show, I think she owned a nail salon, and she's like, all my employees are getting pedicures,
Oh,
everybody yeah, she just loved her people, and she had a huge appreciation for all these individuals
that's
that helped make
amazing.
her successful. She was a really good person. um but she designed clothing and jewelry. Her stores were located in San Antonio and Corpus Christi, Texas. She also had a brief career as an actor and starred in a movie with Johnny Depp.
Hey.
Yes, yes. Um, it's the Don Juan DeMarco. I've never
Mm.
watched it, but
Mhm.
yeah, she's in that movie. Yes,
I've never
just
fully
yeah,
seen it, but I've
she's
heard of it.
Um, Now we're going to talk about Selena and her husband. She met Chris Perez, who was introduced to the family band as a guitarist. They hit it off. Um, they decided to start seeing each other, but they wanted to keep it a secret because Abraham, he was pretty protective of Selena. He really looked out for her. And I think they wanted to hide it from the band, and try to keep it as secret as possible to not, personal life with the career and affect business. But they really cared about each other.
Yeah.
Now, Suzette ended up finding out about their relationship, and she kind of blew their cover and told Abraham about it, and he
Oh,
lost his
Suzette.
gasket. Yes, they like because he had that kind of rock star look appeal,
Mm.
and Abraham kind of, he looked at him like you just want her for her money, you just want her, for all her success, and he ended up firing him
Oh shit.
to keep him away from
So
Selena, and
sorry.
they still was romantically involved, and they ended up behind their family's back. Well, the band and everybody's, they eloped in 1992.
I mean,
It
stand
was
up for
April
what you
2nd,
want.
actually.
I like it.
Yes. So of course they have to tell, Abraham, and he wasn't tickled about it, but they accepted Chris and they brought him back into the band. But that's what they wanted. Now, did they have a picture perfect relationship? No. They fought like
Mm.
other couples, and apparently, Chris wrote a book about his marriage with Selena, and he talks about, there was times that they even discussed divorce. He said because we were around each other 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
Yeah.
on the road all the time. And it did cause a hostile bit of an environment, but there was a point that they were talking about having a baby. I think that they really did love each other, and I think if they didn't have all that going and all that fame and eyes on you 24/7, they probably could have had a really beautiful marriage.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't doubt that they loved each other unconditionally.
Being
Um,
together 24/7 is really hard. I tell everybody that it's super important to have space apart, your time, their time. It's super important.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And they didn't have that. And you got to think, on top of being around each other all the time, you have all these other people around you all the time too. Your family, because your family's part of your band. You have bodyguards around you. That's not a normal
And then your
lifestyle.
family's
I mean,
always
to
in your
her, that's normal.
business. You can't fight in
Yeah,
private.
it's
You can't discuss things in private. You guys are on a
right.
small bus on top of that. Yeah.
Big Bertha.
Big Bertha. I
Yes,
love it.
yes. Big Bertha. All right. So I just want to paint this picture of what a incredible, and that's the Cliff Notes version of her human being that she was. And she was beautiful, she was successful, she was intelligent, and she didn't think that she was better than anybody else around
So
her.
she was
She
humble.
knew where she came from,
Yes.
and she wanted to give to everybody that she possibly could. So she is in the Latino world. Let's face it, everybody loves Selena. And to this day, people still love Selena. She is the queen of the Latino music world. And she will always be the queen of the Latino music
Yes.
world. Everybody loved Selena.
She's still huge.
Now,
I It's so funny because I watch Jersey Shore, and it's still on if you don't watch it. But
oh,
they
she
um
watches Jersey Shore, but she
I
won't
do.
watch the Selena
Oh, get
movie.
out. But Snooki, just like literally this last episode, Snooki was talking about how she was like she loves Selena, especially when she's
Hmm.
like out drinking and all she says all she wants is Selena. And they gave her like a Selena themed gift basket at the reunion
I
show.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. So now we are going to meet our asshole.
Oh
And
yay.
I'm going to say her last name because I'll probably mess it up, and she deserves no respect whatsoever. But Yolanda Saldivar was born on September 19th, 1960 in San Antonio, Texas. She was one of seven children born to Frank and Juanita Saldivar. She was a former nurse, okay, and she loved country music, which I find so bizarre
Yeah.
that she ended up intrigued with Selena, but whatever. Anywho, um, she became a fan in 1991 after she attended one of Selena's concerts, which is really so. She didn't like Selena until she met Selena, until she
Mm.
saw her perform. She wasn't a fan
Things are
at all,
starting to
but I think
connect. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So she ended up going to this concert with one of her friends, and she was intrigued. And she said she not only liked her music, but she loved watching her perform. And if you listen, guys, you can go on YouTube and look up some of Selena's shows, and she would jerk her jacket off in her little bustier, and she'd get it. I mean, get it, girl. I can't move like that. I
Mm.
probably pull my whole damn back out now. But yes, I would. I mean, but she would get it. I mean, she put on an incredible performance, and people loved that. But
Yeah.
so she said she enjoyed watching her perform. She enjoyed her attire. She just liked everything about her. So she takes it upon herself, because you're going to learn that Yolanda likes to just kind of do what Yolanda wants to do, right? That she's going to create a Selena fan club. And she managed to get Abraham, the father's contact information,
Oh my
and she
god.
called him 15 times to talk to him about starting this. She says in today, she still says, it was only 3, but Abraham says, no, it was 15. I'm probably going to go with that's probably just the amount of messages she left, not counting the amount of times that she actually did try to contact him. But yeah, she was insistent that she needed to get permission to get this started. So she talks to Abraham about it. They agree and they start the fan club in 1991.
So she
She was the
started a fan
president.
club with her. Why couldn't she do it without the dad?
Well, you'll see. It'll
Okay.
all tie
Okay.
together momentarily, yes. So she becomes the president. Um, she put a specific amount, that people would pay to join this fan club, and apparently there was perks to it. You would get like some merch. I don't know what kind of merch you
Mm.
would get, but all the earnings from the club went to charities because that's what Selena wanted. Remember, and I believe Abraham did consult with Selena, and he's like, this woman, she wants to start this fan club, and Selena didn't want money from that. She didn't need that.
Yeah.
That was pocket change to
Oh,
her.
absolutely.
She wanted it to go to charities, so that's the way it's supposed to go. So all this money that the people are sending for their membership, where they're getting all this stuff, is supposed to be going to charities. Okay, now she started that. The club started June 1991. Yolanda didn't actually actually physically meet. She's seen Selena on stage, but she didn't actually get to meet her when she was there. Okay. She had this club going before. She didn't actually meet her till December 1991. So she had been going and doing this. So Selena was giving her this trust that, okay, you're doing this. I appreciate it. They met, they hit it off really well. She was really grateful for everything she had been doing. She treated her like a friend, not a business acquaintance. She took her under her wing and treated her like a friend. She trusted her a lot. And they grew really, really close. And she kind of became like an assistant in a sense to Selena. And Abraham would say she was like the most efficient assistant ever. That if Selena was like, jump, she would jump like 6 times. Like she went well above and beyond for
Yeah.
her. Yeah. But I mean, we know from what we discussed about Selena that she wasn't the type of person that was very demanding. She didn't expect really anything. But Yolanda would go above and beyond the call of duty to make sure that she achieved whatever, Selena wanted.
Yeah.
Now, she ended up giving up her nursing job to just specifically work for Selena and Selena's family,
Oh, damn.
which is really bonkers because she made really good money working as a nurse. She
Yeah.
didn't make that much money working for Selena and Selena's family. Um, she wanted to devote all her time to the club. Um, by 1993, the Selena fan club became one of the largest fan clubs in the San Antonio area. Like it had
Jesus Christ.
significantly grew.
Yeah.
Now, in 1994, when Selena had opened up her boutiques, she appointed Yolanda as a manager. Like she hired her in as a manager. Yeah. Um, in January 1994, Yolanda officially started managing the boutiques, and she moved to Corpus Christi to be closer to Selena, to be right in arm's reach.
This is bizarre.
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave nursing
Yolanda,
to be a manager at a clothing store.
well,
I just
what
wouldn't.
you're gonna learn. Yeah. Now Yolanda became Selena's like registered agent or whatever you want to call it in September 1994. She was responsible for writing and cashing checks and handled transactions at the boutique and the club, which we're going to learn was not the best decision that Selena could have made in all her career. Selena also gave Yolanda access to a Business American Express card for the boutique for whatever, the boutique needed. Which we learn was not used solely for business purposes as it was intended. Yolanda started using this for luxury purchases. for herself. Yeah.
Oh
By
man.
December 1994, Selena's boutiques were in financial crisis
Oh
because
no.
Yolanda was not taking care of
Mm-hmm.
the business that she was supposed to. Um, Now, there was employees that had been lodging complaints to Selena about Yolanda being, she was rude. If you question business practices, she would become very intimidating, and it just there was a lot of complaints. And when Selena would go to talk to Yolanda about this, she would basically like make her think, well, no, they're just saying this because they're jealous of our friendship and blah blah blah. So it resulted in, not only did Yolanda fire employees for no actual good reason, people were quitting because they didn't want to be around all that. Um, yeah, they took their concerns to her father, though, who obviously we know that Abraham is a no bullshitter, and
Yeah.
Abraham is going to cut to it. So Abraham does some digging, and he realizes very quickly that there is a lot of receipts that are missing for some transactions. Things are not adding up. Apparently there was complaints from people in the fan club. They were not getting their
Oh
merchandise that,
no.
that they were promised. Like, I mean, it was a lot. So they learned very quickly that she had been embezzling money. They had also allowed a cousin of Selena's to go join and help with the business, and she quit within a week working with Yolanda.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Um, the report sales were not accurate. It was just a hot mess. So on March 9th, 1995, Selena and her father confronted Yolanda about all of this, the mismanagement, the misappropriation of funds, and she didn't give any explanation for any of it. Um, she was very argumentative, I guess is the word to
Mm-hmm.
use. She defended her actions, like, how dare you question, the things that I would do. So obviously, Abraham's like, she needs to be let go. Like, this is causing a ruckus. Now you got to think,
Ooh.
she has been managing Selena's businesses and it's supposed to be, taking care of like all this accounting and stuff for a hot minute.
Yeah.
So she's supposed to have all these records that Selena is going to have when she files her taxes. Um, so our big red flag is 2 days after that confrontation, Yolanda bought a 38 caliber gun in Corpus Christi. 2 days
Ooh.
after that conversation, yeah.
Okay.
Now, Selena has made her mind up. She's going to let Yolanda go. She's going to, just listen, this isn't working out. I wish you the best. We're going to part our ways. Um, However, she wasn't able to cut her ties instantly because she needed those tax documents. And every time she would bring that up, Yolanda would go on some other tangent about something else and she wasn't able to get it. And we know that Selena is also very independent. And
Yeah.
Selena is going to do what Selena wants to do, how Selena wants to do it. Hence, remember, she went and eloped with her husband and gave two shits less what her dad was going to think. Yeah.
My thing is,
So
like, she could have called the cops. Like, you embezzled. I can't imagine how much money.
I think it roughly came to about $60,000, and that
Yeah.
was in the 90s.
And she cut you a
I
break
mean,
and was
that's a
just going
lot
to
of
cut you
money.
loose.
Yeah, she was just going to cut her loose. She wasn't going to involve law enforcement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so March 10th, 1995, Selena removed Yolanda from the boutique's bank account, um, and replaced her with Irene Herrera as the club's president. So she just kind of took care of it. But she again was letting her know, look, listen, Yolanda, I need to get those documents. Like, I need to get all this stuff from you. Let it be.
Yeah.
To which Yolanda was not going to be cooperative. She would tell her, yeah, I'm going to give you this and blah, blah, blah. And yeah. Now, on March 30th, um, she had returned from, excuse me, Yolanda had returned from Texas. I don't know where she had been. I think she was in Mexico, but she checked into the Days Inn. She contacted Selena They met briefly to discuss the documents at which Yolanda then told Selena, trigger warning, that she had been raped during her trip and needed care. So Selena took her to the hospital to have her checked. They check her. There is no evidence of sexual assault at
Of
all.
course.
Please understand that when rape kits are done, they take time. You have to get a forensic nurse, and it's very time consuming. We've all been to the ER. We all know that takes time. So it was into the next day. Selena takes her to the Days Inn to return, and she's like, I need those documents, okay? Like, I need them. Um, which, of course, she didn't give them. So she turns her back on her, okay? She turns her back to leave, to which Yolanda then pulled out a the 38 caliber revolver, and she shot Selena right in the back. She was able to run out of the room, though. Now, Yolanda came out of the room and called her a bitch. She made it to the front lobby, collapsed, was able to tell the receptionist, this is who shot me, this is what room number they're in. So they immediately call, law enforcement.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's over what? Why did you over what?
I could understand the fear of her involving police, but she wasn't. Was there a fear that she was? I don't. Why? Yeah, why? I
I
don't.
think what I really truly think that's what it boils down to.
That's
Or
insane.
it the fact that you were going to lose your meal ticket because you'd been embezzling money. And the thing is,
That's worth killing
if she
somebody?
would have, oh, absolutely not. It's totally not worth killing somebody. But if she would have just told her, Selena, I'm in a hard time right now, and I maybe we could work something out, but can you loan me X amount of dollars? You know what? Selena probably would have fucking gave it to her.
Yep.
Like that's the reality of
Yeah.
it. But I think it
God,
was
it's
more.
sickening.
I don't even think it's the fear of the police getting involved. I think it was the idea of losing this constant, never-ending flow of income from embezzling. That's what I think it was. I don't think she really gave a shit about her. I don't think she cared about her at all. I think she
So
saw
go
an
con somebody else. That's what
opportunity.
a con man really does.
Yeah.
They move on to the next freaking meal ticket. That's. I just don't get it. I mean, did she like? I don't know. I don't. It doesn't make sense.
Well, so of course EMS responds to the call. They get her. Meanwhile, while she's at the hospital, they're having this standoff for hours. She sat in her car with a gun to her head, crying that she shot her best
Oh,
friend.
please.
Uh-huh. Yes. Now, Larry Rucker Young, who was the lead negotiator with Corpus Christi Police Department, he was quoted. He said, I was on the phone with her for 7.5 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. And he said Yolanda didn't ask for anything. What she wanted really was to hear what was going on with Selena and what her condition was.
The audacity of that bitch. Like, no.
Yes.
You don't
Yes.
get to freaking commit the crime and then, is she okay? Like,
So, sadly, Selena was pronounced dead at Corpus Christi Memorial Hospital at 1:05 p.m. That was less than 90 minutes after she had been shot.
Jesus
But they were able to obviously get Yolanda to agree to come out. At her hearing, she said, and I quote, that it was an accident, that she didn't mean to shoot Selena, that she wanted to kill herself. How does one fuck that up that bad? I need to know. Yes.
Oops, hold the gun the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like,
She said that she loved Selena, and Selena was her best friend. And that she admired her and she would do anything for her. Really? Because you fucking literally, it's not put the knife in her back, you put a bullet in your friend's back. A woman that bent over backwards for you. and had every right to call the police on you and didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Now,
And if that's how we treat our
the
best
reason
friends, we've all been doing it wrong.
now since then, since this has happened, of course, the family was devastated. That absolutely shattered Chris's heart
Oh, I'm sure.
because I think it was just like a couple months that they had before her murder that they were talking about having a child
Oh,
together. Yes. Abraham, he
his
has now
baby.
opened up a museum in, well, I don't want to call it a museum, but in a sense it is in Corpus Christi with some of Selena's outfits and her signed records
Oh.
and all these things. Movies have been created. Netflix is supposed to be releasing a series. I don't know when.
Ooh.
But the big reason I wanted to 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 talk about this is Yolanda has decided to request parole because she is still to this day pleading her innocence and pleading that she didn't mean to do that. Yes.
It doesn't
Now
matter. There's no
Abraham,
innocence. You didn't mean to, but you did it. So you're
oh,
not
she
innocent.
absolutely did it. Yeah, you're not innocent, but she
Bullshit. It
thinks
was an
she is. But
accident.
that's what we call a narcissist, people. They have no they have no insight on any remorse or any, accountability whatsoever. She is the victim in all of this.
Mm.
You know, I'm sure she has said she's sorry. Do I think she's sorry? No. Not one bit. I don't
Mm-mm.
think she's sorry for what she did at all. Now I will say that Abraham interviewed with I can't remember specifically which news station this is, but he said he gets letters from inmates that's in prison with her and they remind him that they are waiting for her to come out. There's a death wish on her. When I said she is the queen, that Selena was the
Mm.
queen of Latino music, I meant it.
Yeah.
The world was absolutely devastated. You took one of the world's most kindest human beings away. For what?
Well, I'm gonna dissect this for a second. So you okay? You would have went to prison for embezzlement if she would have called the cops. She chose not to.
Right,
So rather than that,
right.
so that definitely takes away the theory that the fear of cops were involved because you, I mean, you're going to go to prison for murder or embezzlement. Like either way, you're going to go to prison. The only
You
route
would
was
have
just to let
served.
her cut you loose and you move on. And you chose not to go that direction. Second, I call bullshit on the accident problem or the accident thing because one, Selena came running out. And granted, if you're shot, even if it was an accident, you're panicking, so you are going to run. This is who shot me. She didn't say it was an accident, I'm shot. She said, this is who shot me. And, and so that's bullshit. And then on top of that, why did she not run and get help? Why was it Selena who's the
Well,
one shot
it
going to get
it
help?
was 100% malicious, and they brought that up in court because if you accidentally shot her, you would have been calling 911 or whatever. And I don't think
Mm-hmm.
Selena would have ran like she did, but you made a point to come out of the room when she took off running and called her a bitch.
Yeah. So it definitely looks like there was a frantic fight happening.
Oh
So
yeah, I think
yeah.
that they exchanged some words, but yeah. But that's the
Interesting.
story of Selena. It's sad, because she's such a beautiful person. And if I ever had an opportunity to go back in time, I probably would go back to that and be like, "Listen, girl, it ain't worth it. Don't go chase her. We can explain to the IRS your tax stuff. Please don't. Don't go." I really mean
Yeah.
that. Like she's somebody that genuinely deserves to still be here
Yeah.
today.
I
And
agree.
and Yolanda Saldivar or whatever the fuck her name is took her from us.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't care if I fuck her name up.
When does
Like,
she? When do we know if she gets it or not?
she just filed.
Ugh. Don't give
I
it to
think
her.
it'll be denied. Somebody will kill her the day she gets out. She's literally like, and I literally said
I'm
this
shocked she
to
didn't get
little
hurt
Dana.
in prison.
I'm sure she's been jumped a time or two. I'm sure she has. All right, you got questions for the girls?
I got a few. It was pretty cut and dry, but I got a
Okay.
few.
All right. Can you hear it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, girls. Do you like Selena? Oh, that was a clear yes.
Yep.
They love
Yes.
Selena. Yes.
So, my first question, if Selena were here today, would she still be as big as she is?
Yes. If Selena was still alive, would she be as big as what she was then? Yes, that was really clear.
Mm.
Yes.
I bet she'd be so
Did you hear
philanthropic.
that, thief?
Thief?
They
Wow.
said thief.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think that Yolanda has any remorse for what she did? No.
Was it malicious?
Yeah. Was it malicious? Yes.
Ugh.
That was really clear. Yes. I'm going to ask, even though I normally don't do legal. But do you think that Yolanda will get parole?
Oh, I know. Nothing.
No, they're like, we're not answering that. We don't do legal.
We don't do legal. they're like, you don't do legal, neither do we.
We're not an attorney.
Um, how do I ask it? Like, would her dad would he confront her if she got out, you think?
Yeah, would Abraham confront Yolanda if she got out? Yep, that was clear. Yep. Abraham's a pretty vocal guy.
Yeah, he's pretty outspoken for sure. Um, have they done anything in Selena's name other than the museum? Like, have they done...
I think so. But have they done anything else in Selena's name other than the museum?
I'm sure they have.
I heard lots.
Mm. Did the fans end up getting retribution for...
Yeah. Did the fans get retribution for not getting anything?
being scammed?
Yes. I'm sure Abraham took care of that.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I feel like it tarnished her name, and that's not what they wanted to do.
No, because I think that they got stuff for a little bit, but then they weren't getting anything.
So here's another question. Going into starting the fan club was really where it started with her. Did she ultimately have a plan to be schemy, or was it genuine at first?
Yeah, was Yolanda's idea of starting the fan club a genuine thing at first? I heard yes,
Okay.
and then I heard no.
Did Chris ever really get over losing her?
I don't think he ever has. I don't think he watched the Selena movie, until just recently.
Really?
If that tells you anything, yeah.
God, that's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he had kids.
I think he did. Did Chris ever have kids? I couldn't make any of that out. Kids, I heard kids. I think he did though, and I think he got remarried.
Oh, well, good. I'm sure that it's still. I'm sure it humbled him, but I
Yeah.
don't think I know anything else to ask.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, ladies. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Selena was
sad.
a good person. I know. It makes me sad. But yeah, that's Selena.
Well, now I know. I as
Now
soon
you
as you
know.
started talking, I remember. Oh yeah, she. I thought it was a. I swore it was a fan, but I mean, she really molded more into a friend.
Well, I should have mentioned, I had forgot to mention before that I think it was one of her roommates said that that Yolanda actually had like a shrine, a Selena shrine in her apartment.
Oh my goodness, Lord no.
So I would say a fan that turned into a huge obsession.
Honestly, that's probably what it was. And if like I can't have you in my life, nobody can, type of thing.
Yeah. But
Maybe
I'm with the
lover, but
theory
not
of
lovers like that. Like
I think it was more of a financial gain. I that's what I go with.
from the get
I
go.
think that yeah. Well, I think that I do believe, they say that there was probably genuine interest at the best start. But deep, deep down, I think it was, I can start this. It'll be a good thing. They will love me and moolah.
Mm, disgusting.
I do.
Disgusting. I hope she doesn't get it. Gross.
I hope not. I don't think they will. I think that Texas has Texas is a don't fuck around
They
state.
really are. They don't. They mean business too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll have to, update you guys as we learn more about Yolanda's upcoming, parole, if she's even granted,
Yeah.
a review. Yeah,
Yep.
because they could deny it. Which I kind of hope they do.
Same.
So
That's
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, that's our story of Selena.
Selena,
Selena's.
Selena.
Yes. All
All
right,
right.
Ash.
Well, you guys know what you got to do, and if you don't, you must not listen a lot. But welcome. You got to follow us, if not already, on most social media platforms. You can find us on there, or if you like to listen, you can find us on Spotify. If you like to watch and listen, find us on YouTube.
All right. Good night, doll babies.
Bye, guys.